Okay, can y'all hear me now? I'm going to give y'all just a few minutes to let me know you can hear me. So I'm just going to ramble about the weather, and it's very gray and overcast here, and we've got remnants of the storm. Okay, how about now? Everybody can hear me, I hope. Welcome in. Let me start over. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I missed you guys so much last week, but I was so busy. It was nice to be able to take a break from my video recording in order to get the craft show done and ready. I don't know that I will do it again. I may do the spring one. My church will have another one in March. So, but the difference with that is I'll have more than just a month to get everything ready. I'll have from now until March. So that's quite a few more months. So we'll see. So let me say hey to everyone. Jennifer Real, welcome in. Margie, Marlene, Phyllis. Hey Phyllis, how are you? I got your mail. I've been meaning to call you, but I hadn't had a chance. We'll talk after a while. And of course Jennifer's here. So I'm going to give people just a few more minutes. If y'all noticed, I came on a little bit early, which I try my best to do, so that it gives y'all time enough to get in and everybody gets settled so that no one misses what we're doing. So I'm trying to... Hey Brenda Hightower, how are you? So good to see you. I'm excited about today because not being here has made me really want to get back here with y'all like this, because it's different when I'm live and I can interact with y'all and than it is just doing a recorded video. Although I do love my recorded videos because I feel like I can do more in-depth projects with those than I can. I think y'all are going to love the card that's going up for tomorrow at 12 noon. It's a Christmas card, and I'm not going to give a sneak peek because for me, I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I so enjoyed making it, and I hope that if you have these supplies that you will try it. And if you don't have the supplies, put them on your list. Put them on your list before the 1st of January, because some of these products was in the mini catalog. All right, without any further ado, I'm going to flip y'all down. Hey Randy, how are you? I wasn't sure if Randy was going to make it. Are you listening while you're on the road, or did you make it back home in time? She texted me this morning and told me she didn't know for sure if she was going to make it. So, okay, I'm going to see if I can flip this over. We'll transition over like this. And I'm going to show you first what I have to give away today. And that is, this was a pack of paper that was from last year's collection. This was, without a doubt, one of my all-time favorites. I'm going to open it so I can show it to you. When I was rumbling through my retired stuff, when I was doing my my craft fair, I was pulling out products that I hadn't used in a while. Look at this beautiful paper. Is that not, I mean, some of it's gold foiled, though even the ones that's not gold foiled is just gorgeous. It looks like it was Oh, you're in the parking. Yes, I see that. Hey, Randy, I'm so glad that you tried to make it, even though you are waiting for your hair appointment. I guess, yeah, you're waiting in the parking lot. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. But anyway, this is going to be what we are giving away today. This pack of paper, like I said, is stunning. Look at that scenery. I mean, it is just absolutely beautiful. So, even though it's retired, I'm sure that anyone that gets this will thoroughly enjoy crafting with it. I used this paper so much last year, and if any of you were with me, which I know a lot of you were, y'all remember me using this paper because it was one of my favorites. That's going to be our door prize for today, and I may give away the box. I'm not sure. The boxes can be a little bit hard. This is what we're going to make today. This is what we're going to make. And this was my best seller at the craft fair. And I'm going to show you what happens when you, what's in it. It's like a little matchbook or matchbox or a slider box. And there you've got a treat hiding away in there. How's that? I love this. Everybody at the craft fair loved them too, because I sold more of these than I did anything. My Oreo boxes, I had 30 of these and that not one sold. So guess what? I'm going to show y'all today how to measure, how to build a box, and the band, because this isn't a top, this is actually like a band. And I'm going to show y'all how to do that today. So we're going to start out first doing the one for the Reese's cup, and then I'll show you how to do the one. And if y'all remember, well, first of all, let me tell you, I've got a frog in my throat, so y'all please excuse me. I may be putting a Halls in my mouth because I have been very congested for some reason. Maybe it's this crazy weather wreaking havoc on my sinuses, but I've been very congested. But I have made a PDF tutorial that will be on the blog for y'all. And if you see this little symbol right here, this is a QR code, and this is all the rage with everybody these days. And you can take your phone and open up your camera, and you don't even have to take a picture, just hold it over it. It will say web address, and touch the web address. And when you do, my banner will start coming up, and then it'll say connect with us on social media, view my online store, join my Facebook group, or watch my videos on YouTube. So all you have to do is touch. That will take you to my channel. Of course, it's going to be slow because I want to show y'all this. It might have something to do that I have Jennifer on the phone. I'm not sure. It should not matter. I should be able to open up a YouTube video. But normally this works the first time. Alright, we're just going to pop off of that for right this minute. Well, there it is. Okay. It will also, let's go back. You can visit my online store. This will take you to my Stampin' Up store. So I got all of that in that one little QR code. Or you can join my Facebook group by going here, and there's our Facebook group. So I thought that would be beneficial to show you. And I have another one that just has my blog on it. And I did these for my flyers that I made for the craft fair. So, but anyway, this is the PDF, and I do have this one here that I did, and you can see pictures do not do it justice. For some reason, I've got this set on good quality, but it looks washed out. But this is a 2-page, and I did print mine front and back because I just basically wanted to show it. But that's free on the on my blog. All you have to do is click. It'll say click here for the PDF tutorial, and you can print that out for your own benefit. If y'all remember, a couple of weeks ago, I did this worksheet for sizing a box. Well, we're going to work with this again, because I know that many of y'all probably struggled with that just a little bit. And building the bottom of this box, it's not a square box, so you will not use this worksheet. You use the one that says rectangle box. The rectangle box. And you won't use the bottom because we're not making the top. We're only making the bottom. So this is going to show you how to make this portion of your box. And to get it sized where you need it. Now I measured my candy bar ahead of time. And I have, that's the Oreo, wrong one. There's my Reese's. And I know that my candy bar is 3. Let me bring the candy bar back out so I can show you how I did this. They always say a picture's worth 1,000 words. I measured it this way, and I knew I wanted it a little bit deeper than what the candy bar is. So I decided I wanted my sides of my box to be 3/4 of an inch. Now my sides are going to be the same here and here, which is here and here. Now that's width. Here and here, and length here and here. So the 3/4 of an inch is going to go here, 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 and here. Then you need to measure your candy bar. My candy bar was 2 1/4 this way. And I wanted to add 1/4 inch. You always want to add that 1/4 inch to it, because you don't want something that's going to fit so tight in the box that they have to, you know, pull and kind of fight with it to get it out. So that's why I always add that. The length of it is 5 1/2, and I allowed for the wrapper as well. I didn't want it to be squished like that. I wanted it to lay in the box just like this. So I added a 1/4 inch to that 5 1/4, and that gave me 5 1/2. So I added all those together, and y'all saw me do that on my fraction calculator. Let me take y'all back to my tools and my fraction calculator, and we just basically go and put 3/4, let me get rid of that, whatever that is, plus 2 1/2, my whole numbers are over here, 2 1/2 plus 3/4 equals 4 inches. So I wrote that number in there. I did the same thing here. I added up 3/4, 5 1/2 plus 3/4, and that equaled 7. So that's how I worked it out for my box. So we're going to cut a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to do it in basic white. And I'm using the thick basic white. I'm going to move this candy and stuff off of my surface right here so I'll have room enough for my trimmer. So we're going to cut this down to 4 by 7. So I'll put it in here at 4 inches. And then turn it this way. Let's open up that arm and bring it over to 7. And now you can do one of two things. You can score it on here. Your score lines are always going to be whatever your side measurements are. So, or if you look back at our worksheet, my side measurements, wrong one. Sorry, I had calculated my measurements for the Oreos as well. My side measurements are 3/4, so I'm gonna score all the way around this piece at 3/4. That means that it's going to be 3/4 on this side, 3/4 here, 3/4 here, and 3/4 here. So I'm going to put it in. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the trimmer using the score blade. So scored at 3/4, 3/4. And I do apologize for my voice, and I know it's very scratchy. I just feel really congested. I hope I'm not coming down sick, because I know it is raging right now. So many people that I know has either had the flu or is coming down with the flu or has the flu, and that's no fun. All right, so what we're going to do with this piece, I'm going to pull out my little paper snips. And when you're doing this, decide which way you want your pieces to go. If you trim here and here, do the same thing on this one, here and here. If you do it here, then do it on that side on both of those. I like to go this way. I don't know. It's just my preference. I'm going to cut that score line away, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. See how that score line is? I'm cutting that away. And then I'm going to come in and angle that all the way up to that little corner. And that little piece should just pop right out like that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go on the other side of that score line and cut up. And y'all have watched me do this so many times. I made so many of these boxes, I felt like I could have made them with my eyes closed. I probably could have. And we'll take that little piece out, and then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Cut straight up, angle, just like that. And angle like this. And take that out. Okay. That's what your piece should look like. Now, I did not do a diagram for this. This is very basic. So I didn't think anybody needed a diagram for this. But if you find out that you do, let me know, and I'll be more than glad to drop the little box diagram in there for you. So I'm just going to score this, all 4 sides and my tabs. The weather has been so nasty here today. I'm going to use liquid glue. You can use seal. Well, you know what? Maybe, no, I'm going to use my liquid glue. I love my liquid glue. I am going to put glue on just the tab. And I'm going to hold these over and do them on all 4 of them. This will give me time enough to put this box together before it dries. And then I'm going to come back over to this side, and I'm just going to bend these up like this. And what you want to pay close attention to is that you get that nice and square. Hold it just for a minute and do the other side. These would make the cutest little stocking stuffers, or if you have a coworker, a friend, your mailman. Not that I want to give my mailman anything. Y'all all know I'm on outs with my mail person. But maybe your UPS driver. Now, me and my UPS driver, we get along just fine. They're always so good at putting my packages, but my mail service is awful. They don't have official workers, I don't think, anymore. I think they just hire people off the street and they don't care. But anyway, there's our box. So here's our test. Perfect. So now we need to make the wrapper to go over it. And this is a little bit more, we don't have a worksheet for this, but I'm going to show you by using a scoreboard how you can make this work. So for our wrapper, I did already work out the measurements, but I'm going to show you, if you don't have the measurements and you're making this yourself, let me show you how you can do this. I'm going to grab my scoreboard and I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to lay this piece of paper in it. You're probably saying, but you haven't cut it down. I know, because right now we don't know what size we need it to be, right? I know that I want this to wrap around it, and I know that this piece is going to go flush to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that up flush to the top, and I know that I want it to be, this is going to be probably 5.5. Let's get our ruler out and just kind of measure it. We can almost measure it to right here. Right about 5.5. I'm going to go a little bit bigger. This looks like it needs, I like it to hang over just a hair. So let's do 5 3/4. So I know that I need to cut my paper off this way at 5 3/4. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. And I'm going to put it in at 5 3/4. And y'all saw how I did that, right? Just by measuring it on my scoreboard, it let me know that this is the width that I need my piece to be. So now I'm going to lay that piece back in there. Now this is going to fit on here perfectly. So we need to decide, where do we need to score this. Now, I'd already done this with a piece of copy paper, and that's what I say do. Don't mess up your cardstock. Get your copy paper and then decide. You know that you got 3/4 of an inch here, so your side measurements are going to need to be 3/4 of an inch so that it will wrap right across the top of that box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it at 2 1/4, because I want this to be right about, yeah, let's do it with this one. 2 1/4 plus 3/4, which is going to give you 3. And then you're going to sit this right up next to that, and that's going to tell you where you need to score over here. And for me, it was 5 5/8. So 5 5/8. And 5/8 is 1 mark past the half, because the half is 4/8 and 1 mark over would be 5/8. I'm going to score there. And then 6 3/8. That will give you that next 3/4 of an inch. So 6 and 1 2 3/8. Now we're not going to need all that wrapping. So what we're going to do is turn this over. And this is me teaching you how to do this. So if you had an item and you wasn't sure how to make the size you needed, this is how you would do it. Or this is how I do it. I won't say this is the right way, but I don't think it's the wrong way. It does work. So now I need to decide where I want this to come over to. And I want it to come about halfway, that piece. So I'm just going to hold my finger there, and I'm going to make just a tiny little tick mark there, so I can see that that's where I want it to cut. And see, I can see my little tick mark right there. So what I'm going to do is bring my trimmer back over. I'm done with my scoreboard, so we can take that off of the table. Hey Tina, I hope the weather's still good where you're at. She's in North Carolina, so she has been under tornado watches. It is just east of me, so I've been very fortunate. But I have been praying for all of the people that are in the path of this storm. So I'm going to take that tick mark and put it in there. I'm not even measuring this. I'm just going to put that tick mark in there. Don't you love it when you don't have to measure? And I'm just going to slice it. Now this wrapper is going to wrap perfect around our box, but I'm going to show you the best way, because you want it to glue here and you want it to glue here. So I'm going to put, you can do it with tear and tape, you can do it with Stampin' Seal, or you can do it with glue. I'm going to do it with glue. So I want glue to go right here and right here. So it's going to be on top of this piece and under this piece, because that's going to come over like that. So I'm going to open up my glue, and I'm just going to run a bead across there, turn that around, and run another bead right about there. Oh, okay, Randy, go get your hair cut and I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and fold that down like that. So on that outside, or the farthest in score mark where your box is going to sit, fold that down and then fold this over. Just like that, making sure your sides are meeting up nice and even, and just give that a good press. And then when it pops up, you are going to have a perfect little slider to slide over top of this. You're probably saying, well, why did you put that seam up? Because we're going to put designer series paper on here. If I did it under here, we'd be covering up that even straight piece. So I'm going to put my designer series paper where the seam is to cover the seam, and then that will make this look seamless. And I think that will be pretty. And I'm going to use this. This is from the Sweetest Christmas DSP. It's the one with the candy canes. I love that pack of paper. It is just beautiful. So I'm going to cut this down because my mats need to be 5 3/8 by 2 3/8. So I'm going to put that in like this and cut it at 2 3/8. I'm going to double check my measurements. What is that? 2 3/8, because I want a little bit of that border of red to show. So 2 1 2 3/8. Lay that in there just like that. Give it a good slice. And then we're going to cut it this way at 5 3/8. So come to 5 and count 1 2 3. And there is our little cover piece to go on the top of that. Just like that. Now we need to do our pieces here and here. We know that that was 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to go down a 1/4 inch. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch strips. So I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch. And another 1/2 inch. And we know we need these to be 5 3/8. So I'm going to put them together. How do we know that? Because we know that's what this piece was. So I'm going to put those together. And I'm going to line it up at 5 3/8. All the way up to the top of my trimmer. And slice. So there's my pieces for that. Now, if you want to, you can put designer series paper here too, and I do like to do that. I did that with mine. As you can see, that one's decorated front, that side, and then both ends of my box. I think it just gives it. Let me show you some of the other ones I did. Here's one that I did, and this was done with green, and I did a beautiful gold bow on it with a red, and I did some heat embossing. Here's one that I did in a plaid, and I thought that one was real cute. These all still have candy bars in them. It's a good thing that Autumn's favorite candy bar is Reeses. She loves her some Reeses. Here's one I did using that, what is it called? Every Occasion or something like that. I used that on that, and I thought that one was pretty. I used one where I did the gnomes. I had to do the gnomes. I thought that one turned out really cute. And then here was another one. These are only ones I had left that didn't sell. And I had made probably 28 or 30 of these. So I think I did pretty good on those. Like I said, my all-time bestseller. All right, I am going to look at this piece, and I'm going to cut 1/2 inch. One more 1/2 inch strip. And then we need this one to go on this end. So we know that that side is 2 3/8. So I'm going to bring it to 2 1 2 3/8 right up there, and we can cut 2 of those off of that piece. 2 1 2 3/8, and there's our side pieces. Now before oh my goodness, Jennifer just said that they've got tornado warnings in her area, so please say a prayer for Jennifer and her children. Her children are at school, and oh, I just had a problem with my chat. It lost it. I don't know why. Am I still, is everything still showing for y'all? Hey Victoria. I don't know why I lost my chat, but I did. Okay. It looks like I froze up too. Hopefully I didn't on here, so hopefully it's just on my tablet. I'm going to keep going, and Jennifer will let me know if we have any problems. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to bring out some ribbon, and I'm going to put this ribbon before I glue this down because I want to tuck it up underneath here. If you notice what I did on this one, we learned from our mistakes. I glued this on after I put the designer series paper on, so I had to go up underneath here and try to glue that down, and it has been fraying a little bit. I notice it sometimes when I pull the box out. So my suggestion to keep that from happening is put your ribbon on first. So I'm going to take a piece of ribbon, and I think I want to use that green. Yeah, we're going to use the green. So I'm going to go right in the middle, and I want that ribbon to go right about here. So I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal because that's my favorite way to put my ribbon tails down. So make sure it's going, and just put a piece right there and there. Then I'm going to take this ribbon, and I'm going to bring it under here, and I'm just going to bring a little bit of it over, enough to tuck it into that Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. I do want to turn it over and make sure that I'm not pulling it and that it looks even. That side does not look even. Okay, now I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors because I made a mistake a while ago. I grabbed my little paper snips and I cut ribbon with it. It frayed my ribbon bad. So I say pull out your ribbon scissors if you are working with something like that. Now I'm going to come back over this because I want this to look like a little package. So I'm going to come back over and I'm going to do the same thing here. Now I've got a little bit of sticky there, but it's not far enough over, but I'm not worrying about the sticky. I just want to make sure I'm getting this where I want it. So I'm going to put a piece of Stampin' Seal here and a piece there. And I'm going to pull that over. Are y'all seeing what I'm doing? I hope you can see it. Let me pull over this way a little bit more. Y'all know I'm bad about getting out of frame. And I am working on that. I'm working really hard to try to stay in frame. But it is really hard. That is one of the hardest things that I find with doing videos, is staying in frame. Okay, and I think that's good. We're going to tack that down with some glue dots. So I'm going to come in and take my scissors and just cut that. So now that I've got that where I want it, I'm going to grab a couple of my glue dots. I got one that stuck to the top of my little dispenser, and I didn't want that to do it. So I'm going to take, hey Susan, welcome in. We're making little treat boxes today. You might want to go back and watch the entire video when you get a chance, because I showed how you can size this box. And we're going to do another one if we have time. We're going to do another one for an Oreo, a pack of Oreos. Alright, and this one I'm going to take right up under here and put it down like that. That's going to cover because we're going to put something else on there. Now I've already made a couple little bows to put on here, and these are just my little finger bows. Y'all have seen me do these many times. I'm going to trim my tails like that, and again I'm going to use a glue dot, and I'm going to press the back of this into the glue dot, and that lifts it right off, makes it so easy. And then we're just going to set that down right in the middle of that cross section like that. Now we can go ahead and put some glue all over the back of this. I even like to run a little extra up underneath my tape just to make sure that it's getting adhered really well. Hey Brian, how are you? I'm not seeing my chat anymore, so I can't see people as they come in, so I'm depending on Jennifer to let me know when y'all pop in. Welcome in. I hadn't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. So I'm just going to lay that right there on top and give it a little press. And if you want to, this might be a good rule of thumb, take your candy bar out so you can really get into this and press it. Just like that. Now I have my little double oval punch, and I'm going to punch, did I get green paper? I think I did. Yes, I did. I'm going to use garden green since I'm using the garden green on this piece. I think I'm going to use the garden green for the, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go rogue, and I'm just going to cut off a piece of this about like so. And that's not straight, but that's okay. I can straighten that up later. I'm going to open up my double oval, and I just want the scallop part of it right now. So I'm going to come over all the way to the edge as far as I can and punch that out. And then I need to do the same thing. Let's see, I know I got a scrap of white over here. Let's get a little scrap of white that will fit up in there. Yeah, we always got little pieces like this of white. So this is going to be a little bit bigger than I need it, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. And there is my little white piece. And this is going to go on top of here. And we're going to use some garden green ink. And I'm going to stamp Joy on the top of that. And I'm going to show you where I got my Joy stamp from. Y'all know I had laid out my red ink because I was going to originally do this in red. And of course I changed my mind. I know that surprises everybody. The Joy's coming from the Merriest Moments stamp set, and it's a nice bold Joy, and I think it really kind of speaks to the to this little box, because I mean, is this not just simply joy? It's not an almond joy. That's what my husband said when he saw it. He said that you should have had an almond joy in there. Leave it to my honey. He is something. All right, let's put that right there. I'm going to get a stamp block and pick that up. Let's go ahead and ink it. And I want to see if I can stamp it straight. You know, that's always a task in itself. Ah, I smudged it. It's okay. Paper has two sides for a reason. I probably pressed it a little bit too hard. So let's try that again. I'm not going to be as heavy-handed this time. I'm just going to do it gently. Ah, that one didn't work either. Okay, I told Jennifer this morning it has been one of those Murphy Law days for me. Let's get our punch, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to punch it out again. And I'm going to clean my stamp. Sometimes you just get ink up inside of it. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Scrub off camera. And I just clean that up a little bit. And we're going to try that again. I'm going to be much gentler with putting my ink on it. I'm also going to buy some insurance and bring my Stampin' Pierce mat out. And let's see. Ta-da! I think we got it that time. So, two things I need to do. Get my Stampin' Pierce mat out of the way and close up this ink pad, because I had a catastrophe this morning with the ink pad. So, let's turn that over, grab a couple of dimensionals, and stay tuned. Like I said earlier, make sure y'all tune in for tomorrow's video, the recorded video at 12 noon. It is going to be a beautiful Christmas card that I think you are going to thoroughly enjoy. So now let's bring our box back over, and remember where I had that little bump where I put the glue dot down? We're just going to glue this right over top of it so you don't even see it. So I think for this, I'm going to use two kinds of glue. I'm going to go over it with my Stampin' Seal, and I'm also going to put some glue on it. The reason I'm putting extra glue and extra adhesive is because I'm gluing over top of that ribbon. And you know, the last thing you want to do is give somebody a gift and it fall apart. And for me, because I did sell these in the craft show, I did the same thing. I made sure that everything was put together really, really well. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press that lid out. Now let's bring our little candy bar back in its little tray. And let's slide it together. And there is a nut. Oh, I didn't put my little sides on. Okay, let's get these on the side. Very simple to do. Just put some glue on the ends of these, or on the backs of these, and just press them onto the end of your box. And what I do is I just kind of center it up, top to bottom. something like that, and then turn it over. Well, that didn't want to sit up, does it? We'll just let it lay down. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to decorate the one, but I will show y'all how to measure and get your measurements for the Oreo box, because I wanted to make one of these for my Oreos since they didn't sell very well. And I don't know if it was the Oreos or if it was the packaging. You know, I had them in those little triangle boxes. I showed y'all how to make those. All right, let's turn this way. And now we can slide this in. And there is our little treat box, decorated and ready to go in a stocking or on someone's desk or mailbox or whatever. Wouldn't that be cute? So cute to send to someone. You know, the weather's not so hot now that oh, I didn't put these on. You know what, Jennifer? I am just totally miscombobulated. Jennifer, you still there? Yeah, I wasn't sure if Jennifer was there because I had not heard anything in my ear for the last little bit. All right, let's go ahead and get these little side pieces on. And that is going to go right about there. And all you want to do is just kind of center it in. And then I'm going to turn it over. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I think putting the little side pieces on just really kind of gives it a nice little finished touch. I'm not putting anything on the bottom because we've got that nice even finish on the bottom. Because remember, we hit our seam under the designer series paper on top. So the bottom is very flush. There's no creases or anything there. So I think it turned out beautiful. So let me real quick, before we, well, we've still got 30 minutes. You know what? We might be able to do this. I'm going to set this over, and this is what the Oreos look like. And as you can see, the difference in the size is significant. Look at the difference. This is much taller. So this one is measured like an inch. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to throw some stuff down here on the floor for right now to get it out of my way. And don't forget to be sure to let Jennifer know if you want to be in the drawing for this pack of paper. That's going to be our door prize. I'm going to... Oh, okay. Jennifer told me not to worry. She's on top of it and she's got everybody covered. So there you go. So I don't even have to worry about that. Jennifer is on the ball. All right. What I did for my Oreo box, and I've got another worksheet where I worked it up, and look, I even wrote Oreo on the side. I know that this is 1 inch tall. I want my box, it's not quite 1 inch, it's probably about 5/8, between 5/8 and 7/8. So I want my side, oh, I'm glad y'all are liking these. I want my side pieces to be 1 inch. So on my sides, I put 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. And you might ask again, why do I have 1 inch here, 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 and here? Well, the width is this way. So my width is 1 inch this way, 1 inch here. So that's the 1 inch and the 1 inch. And then the length, it's 1 inch here and 1 inch here. And then you have your actual width and your length. So my width is 2 inches plus 1/4 is 2 1/4. Always add that 1/4 inch in. Then when I add all those numbers up, it's 4 1/4. I did the same thing for my length, and it's 1 inch plus 6 1/4 plus 1 inch is 8 1/4. So this is the size of my paper. So I'm going to bring in another piece of, I think, why don't we do the bottom in red this time? Let's move our goodies out of the way. Move some of this stuff out of my way so we can work here. Here's my notes. So I am going to bring my trimmer over. And I know that I want my piece to be 4 1/2, so I'm going to cut it 4 1/2 this way. The reason I'm going to do that, that's going to give me another whole piece over here for a card base. So 4.5, or I could do it this way. Oh, let's do it this way. Let's do 4 1/4 here. So 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and we know this is 8 1/2. So what I could do is just take a 1/4 inch off. But because paper's not always exact, I'm going to bring it to 8 1/4. Line it up, and I'm going to cut that off. So that's going to give us the size we need for our box. Now we have to score it. You always score whatever your sides are. So it's going to be 1 inch score on all 4 sides. So bring it over to 1 inch. Bring that cut blade out of my way and bring my score blade up. So 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch, and 1 inch. We're doing the same thing we did on the other box. We're going to trim our ends off, and we will have a box that will fit our Oreos. So I'm going to grab my paper snips, and again, I am going to angle in. Hey Carmina, how are you, honey? And then I'm going to cut up, and I'm going to pull that out and do the same thing over here. I'm going to go ahead and angle in first. You can do it either or, and then cut straight up, and then do the same thing over here, angle up, and then cut straight up. Take that out, angle in, straight up, and take that out. I'm hoping that my new schedule hasn't been too much of a burden on anybody. I was hoping that by doing 12 noon, it might be a little easier on some of my West Coast people, because when I do 11 o'clock, that is so early for y'all. That's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and nobody wants, I don't think anybody wants to craft at 8 in the morning, although I'm usually in my craft room at 8 o'clock in the morning. Ask Jennifer. She'll call me a lot of times, but she says I'm in my craft room at 6 in the morning. She's right. I usually am. I get up and I'll do a few things around the house. I'm just an early riser. All right, now we're going to put this box together just like we did before. I think for time's sake, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. This just makes it, we don't have to wait for glue to dry. If we can get this going. I didn't take a whole lot of this to hold it together, just a little bit. Like that. Seems like I'm in my craft room a lot, but you know, when you put these together again, especially if you use the Stampin' Seal, make sure that you've got those edges nice and flush when you bring it together, just like that. Makes for a nice, neat box. And see, when you use the Stampin' Seal, you don't have to hold it and wait for glue to dry. You can just put it together. Oops, you don't want to do that. This is why I like my liquid glue. If I don't get it just right, I have some wiggle time. That's okay. We made that work. All right, now let's check and see if our Oreos fit. Perfect fit. That formula that I gave y'all on the worksheet for sizing a box will work every time. It works every time. So now all we need to do is make our slider to go over top of this. And I'm thinking, since I did the box in red, what if, you know, did I not figure, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I have a piece already cut and ready to go. I basically did the same thing. I set this on my scoreboard. I wrapped this around it. This is actually my template that's got my writing on it. 2 inches, 3 inches, 5 3/8, and 6 3/8, because we have 1 inches in between, and I wanted that to fit in there just like that. And then it wraps, And I even put tearing tape on this one. So let me show you. Let's let me grab my eraser and we will. No, I'm not going to take these off. I'm not going to take these off. You know why? I'm going to keep this for a template. But what you would do is you would bend this over, take that off, bend that over, take that tape off, bend it over, and then seal it all up like that. When you finish, you're going to have a sleeve just like this that's going to be perfect over top of your Oreo box. See how it would be impossible to hold this and get it like that? That's why it's important to bring it down like that and seal it, and then when it comes to, I'll tell you what, we'll do it anyway. We'll do it anyway. So I'm going to take that tape off. I can figure it out again. I figured it the first time, and like I said, this is what I'm trying to teach y'all, that you can make a box for anything that you need a box for. So there is that. Let's put our little Oreo packet in there, and then we're going to slide it in just like that, and then all we have to do is decorate it. I'm not going to decorate it for the sake of the time issue, but that's the way that would work. We would decorate it the same way. You can decorate any which way you want to. You could put solid cardstock on here. You could put, you could do some different punches. You could use some designer series paper that has a scene on it, and then put some little characters like I did with the gnomes. I thought that one was so cute. Now these are not Oreos. These all have Reeses in them, but I thought that one turned out really cute like that. You know, of course, the ones with the bows on them, they're always, I mean, that's always a hit. And like I said, some of this paper and stuff was done with some older stuff. Some of it's new, like that label right there is brand new. But some of this plaid paper, I think this was a paper from, no, that was today. This paper was a retired paper. And of course I sold quite a few that was retired. Let's go ahead and get ready for our drawing. I think y'all have seen enough of boxes for today. So much fun to make. So think about making some treat boxes like this. You can actually at Sam's or Costco or anywhere like that, you can pick up boxes of these packages of candy bars like this, Hershey bars, Kit Kats, different types of different candy bars. You need to make boxes for them. Everybody loves a sweet treat. Even if we're not supposed to have them, we love a sweet treat. So now the question is, do I want to give away this box? I think I will. I think we're going to have 2 door prizes today. I hope whoever gets this likes a Reese's cup. So let's go ahead and give away our paper first, because this is our door prize, and this is going to be a consolation prize, the Reese's cup. So if Jennifer's ready, is Jennifer ready? Okay, she is ready. So drum roll. The winner of the designer series paper Feels Like Frost is Victoria Milburn. You are the winner of this beautiful pack of paper, Feels Like Frost. So Victoria, congratulations. Congrats. All right, so I'll get that out in the mail to you either today or first thing in the morning. I don't know if my mail's run yet today or not, but if I don't, I will definitely put it in the mail to go out tomorrow. And now our winner for the treat box is Marlene Watts. Congratulations, Marlene. I don't even have to put Marlene's name on here. Marlene is one of my team members, so congratulations to Marlene. I will get both of these out in the mail tomorrow. Congratulations to both Victoria and Marlene. Yay! Everybody give them a big hand clap. Yay! I am so happy that I was able to be here today, even though the weather is gloomy and I've got a frog in my throat. I am still so happy to be here. Let me flip y'all back over to Me. There we go. Oh, I can't mail it out today anyway. Jennifer said there's no mail. It's Veterans Day, and I ought to know that. My husband is a veteran, and so is my son. My husband served in the United States Marines, and my son served in the U.S. Army. So I have a military family, to say the least, and I'm very proud of both of them. And I don't know if, yeah, I think my grandson's still in the Army National Guard, the reserves. So he was. I don't know if he's finished his time yet or not. He has since then got married, so I think his priorities have changed just a little bit. But my son went in the National Guard reserves, and then he actually said he had a calling for this, and he ended up going active duty, and served 2 tours in Iraq and 2 in Afghanistan, and I think he retired with 20 plus years in. And now he's working for like a general defense supply company, which is still kind of military with a civilian position. So anyway, all of that being said, congratulations again to our winners. Thank you each and every one for being here. If you saw any of the supplies that you would like, please click on my little QR code. You can go and shop from this. I'm so proud of myself for learning how to do those little QR codes. Everybody's doing them. Like I said, they seem to be the rage lately. And I'm just very, very happy that I was able to learn how to, it really wasn't that hard. You know, if I can do it, it's not that hard. So anyway, well, God bless and keep you. And thank you so much. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, and I'll be back with another recorded video tomorrow, 12 noon, and then again on Tuesday. And I've already done that card too, and it's all I got to do is edit it and post it up, and it will be ready to go up for Tuesday at 12 noon. And then I'll see you back again Friday at 12 noon, and I hope that the schedule's working for everyone. It is definitely working for me. So God bless and keep you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until next time, be good, be safe, and be happy. I love you guys. Bye-bye.